Hey, I'm NichBoy, welcome to Pocket for Thursday, the 14th of July. Today on the show, Valve reacts, Potato League, and games on TV, which is where you often play them. Alright, here's what's been making headlines, and first up, Valve are finally going to do something about cosmetic gambling, and all it took was an army of lawyers kicking down their door. Quick recap, over the last few years, an unregulated gambling market has sprung up around two of Valve's key games, Counter-Strike Go and Dota 2. Counter-Strike is certainly the larger market, as players use weapon skins to bet on pro matches or buy a stake in a lottery where more skins are the prize. Each cosmetic item has a real-world value in the Steam community market, and lottery pots can get as large as $100,000 US. The problem is not so much the gambling, many people enjoy it responsibly. The real problem is that all of these third-party sites piggybacking off Valve's official market range from kinda dodgy to straight up illegal. In June, a player filed a lawsuit against Valve which alleges they knowingly allowed, supported, and/or sponsored illegal gambling. But Valve has been entirely silent on this matter the whole time. They've never supported the gambling, but they've certainly neglectfully allowed it to happen. Until now. Valve's Eric Johnson delivered a pretty dry statement on Steam, which seems to ignore the fact that this has been going on under their noses for years now. But whatever. Progress. Johnson states that Valve are going to start sending notices to third-party gambling sites requesting they cease operations through Steam and further pursue the matter as necessary. For people who are utilizing skin gambling, Johnson warned that, quote, users should probably consider this information as they manage their in-game inventory and trade activity. In other words, put all your toys back in your toy box, or they're going in the bin. And speaking of throwing things out, Microsoft are ditching their press conference at Gamescom. The company announced today that they'll be foregoing their annual Gamescom briefing in favor of a fan event. This is a pretty big deal, as Microsoft has traditionally used this briefing to share a bunch of news. They'll still be in the Gamescom halls, hosting hands-on sessions with all of the big games they announced at this year's E3, and Gamescom kicks off in Cologne in 5 weeks' time. And finally, Naruto Online is heading to the West! Go West, Naruto! Publisher Oasis Games announced today that the MMORPG will be coming to Western audiences on PC on the 20th of July. The game launched in Japan in December of 2013, so it's either gonna feel terrible and dated or magnificently well-balanced and streamlined after nearly 3 years of playtesting. The game's narrative will follow the story of the Naruto anime, which will probably mean something to the people who've watched the Naruto anime. All right, that's the news. It's time for Thing of the Day. Roll it. I'll click the button. It's time for Thing of the Day. Ah! Holy shit. Potatoes are the best. You can fry them, mash them, cut them up, and then plug in some wires and use them to play Rocket League. All the good stuff. Holy shit. I'm joined now by Lynn G to discuss our talk through.
Hi Nick, how's it going?
It's going very well, thank you very much. So our talk through today comes in from JJ Gaming Master, who says, Nick, hi. Do you think that a TV show based on a video game would be better than a movie based on a video game? If they did this, they could establish more about characters and story. It would also expand the universe, bringing ideas that the devs could use in the game universe. For example, if Splinter Cell or The Division were a TV show, they could do it like they did the TV series 24. Each mission could be an episode which leads to a climax at the end of a season. JJ Gaming Master proving he knows how television works. I think this would be a better alternative than a movie which has to squeeze in all this rich lore and characters. Lynn, you work in television.
I do. And I'm a professional.
You are a professional. Yeah. Why are there not more TV shows about video games? Why are they just movies?
Because it's a very different industry at the moment. We're in a golden age of television, in particular in Hollywood right now. There's a lot of TV being made. And if you look at the television landscape right now, it's almost like the indie game landscape. It's not the AAA, whereas Hollywood film is more like AAA.
Yeah.
And for example, I'm gonna give you a stat right now. Between 2009 and 2015, scripted shows in America jumped from 200 to 409.
So they made double the amount.
They made double the amount
Yep.
in 6 years.
Yep.
Like, that's a lot of television.
So why aren't any of those video games? What sucks about us?
The main point is a lot of Hollywood actors, producers, directors, and personnel have actually moved into television, wanting to make better character-based, plot-based, story-based content, and not necessarily a superhero film or a prequel or a sequel. You just have to look at Woody Harrelson and Matthew McConaughey.
Yeah, exactly.
Detective,
Yeah.
right? And I know HBO is producing Westworld right
Yep.
now with Anthony Hopkins and a whole load of Hollywood actors.
And you don't think that gaming has the IP that these people are necessarily attracted to?
Yes, and I also think gaming IP might be a lot more expensive for the production studios right now. I know that, Battlefield has been purchased by Paramount.
Yes, it has.
But a lot of studios have seen, something like Mr. Robot is incredibly cheap. Because one guy came up with it, and they were like, that's a brilliant concept. Let's see how it goes. And it's tremendously successful, but not that expensive to make.
The reason that Battlefield is being made into a TV show, and the reason that, we hear about movies where they're making a Tetris movie, they made an Angry Birds movie, they're talking about making a Pokemon Go movie, which I don't understand at all because Pokemon has already been a TV show, and now it's based on a second Pokemon. Anyway, the point is that you buy these IPs, right, to tap into an established audience, so that you want people to watch this because of brand recognition. But it's really expensive to buy those in the first place.
Yeah.
And so with Battlefield, it becomes this double-edged sword because you go, well, all these people already recognize this brand, so they'll watch it. But then they already have all these preconceived notions about what it is, and that you need to deliver on, like, making, say, a Halo TV series needs to have Master Chief, and it needs to be exactly like the Master Chief you played as, because if it's not, people are going to go nuts. And it's easier to just make, it's not easier to make original content, but it's like, it's almost safer to just go, oh, we'll just do something completely new.
I think buying any sort of established IP, whether game, comic books, can be problematic because when you're making it as a filmmaker, do you say, I want to service the fans? Do I want to keep that initial audience that comes with that IP? Or do I want to explore the content, the characters, broaden it to more people and take it into a new direction? Yeah. Because, we see it happen in Hollywood all the time. They buy an IP, a director comes in and they say, I'm going to explore new things, I'm going to try new things, and then 2-3 years down the track, when they've actually made the film, the studio steps in and goes, oh, no. It has to be exactly like the IP that we purchased, right?
And so we've talked about, like, why it's not necessarily happening now. But do you think that television is a good space for it if you got the right people for it?
I think it's a better space than films, to be honest.
So do I.
I think because of the length of games and the depth of characters that they explore as well. And also the things which happen, games, they can be, anywhere between 12 to 60 hours, right? And, I don't know, have you seen the recent Warcraft film?
I didn't actually go see it, but I heard really middling
Okay, so I saw the Warcraft film, and the last Warcraft I played was like Warcraft 3, right? And I really enjoyed it, but I watched that film and I went, had they taken those characters and the storyline into, say, a 13-episode television arc, a la Game of Thrones, I think that would have worked out so much better. And probably the same cost as well,
You know what, though? I think part of the problem with something like Warcraft, with a lot of moving games to other mediums, is that games don't necessarily always have the strongest stories. A lot of these universes have really strong lore. Like, Warcraft and the World of Warcraft have really strong lore, which is separate to plot. And so then when you try to stuff all that lore, which is basically just references into a film or a TV show, then you're going, oh, this is taking the place of an interesting plot. That you go, oh, you just
shallow,
gotta
right?
Yeah, because you feel like you're referencing all these things, but you're not actually creating something that's necessarily
So if you're
engaging.
a fan and you see those references and you engage with them, you're like, oh yeah, they put this in, but you're not getting anything new out of it.
Yeah.
You're actually getting your fan nostalgia, right, from the film.
Yeah, exactly.
And if you're a new audience coming in, these references make zero sense to you.
You don't get it at all. You're just surrounded by people who've all gone, huh.
Do you want to give me some more character and some more plot and development to kind of help me understand?
Which is why I think the Battlefield TV show, even though I don't really care about it, has quite a good chance, possibly even a better chance of being a good piece of intellectual property, unlike the Warcraft film, because it's so broad. There's nothing necessarily iconic about Battlefield other than the gameplay.
Well, you're not hamstrung by certain characters.
Exactly, and sometimes it's set in World War One. Sometimes it's set like they're cops. I actually think the best Battlefield TV show would be. Did you ever play Bad Company? Battlefield Bad Company.
Yeah.
So you play as this group of soldiers that are sort of like gone a little AWOL. And that you could make that TV show about like a plot of these guys. It's kind of like Three Kings.
Well, it's
where they go
essentially
searching
Band
for
of
gold
Brothers,
and stuff.
right?
Yeah, kind of,
it's
except
like-
they're slightly criminals.
Yeah. Or like Three Kings meets Band Brothers.
Yeah,
I'm
so-
sure that's how they pitched it to Paramount.
Absolutely, plus Battlefield.
Yeah.
And so that being said, some other game IPs that I do think could make good TV shows. XCOM.
Yeah.
Because
yeah.
it's just aliens coming down,
Yeah.
and so you can go. There's a lot you can actually do within that. Red Dead Redemption possibly has like make a Deadwood style game.
The Westwood's probably already doing that.
Yeah, absolutely. DayZ or Ark Survival Evolved
Yeah.
or Rust, any of these sort of survival games like the Walking Dead ones. But here's the killer one.
Yeah.
Rocket League.
I think of Rocket League as
She's so unimpressed.
Well, when you suggest things like that, as a filmmaker, I just go, how would I make that? How would I make that interesting?
Do you want to know? Do you want to know?
Yeah, you tell me.
Number one, you cast Dean Cain.
Yes.
You put Dean Cain in. It's all about the drivers of these Rocket League cars.
I thought you were going to say Jerry O'Connell.
Jerry O'Connell could be the other guy.
Yeah.
Could be like
It's
Dean
Dean
Cain's
Cain and Jerry
enemy.
O'Connell, yeah.
Maybe there's parallel dimensions where these two meet, and it's like, oh, we are each other.
So Sliders and Lois and Clark.
Exactly. You could make it about the drivers. You could make this weird dystopian universe. It's like a sport thing. It's like Friday Night Lights,
Yeah.
where you go. Half of it is about like the coach of the Rocket League team at home with his teenage daughter who's going through puberty. Then the other half is really great Rocket League matches. What do you reckon about that?
I think it's pretty cool.
Do you?
I mean-
I feel like you died inside as a filmmaker because I'm like, all right, take the cigar out,
I
put
just
it down.
feel like-
Here's the pitch.
You know what? You should just go to Hollywood with this.
Yeah.
Because they'll lap it up.
Yeah.
They'll probably make millions of dollars.
Yeah, I own the
And
Rocket
then-
League IP.
And then I should get in on it so I can make a few million, and then I could go make my own thing, right?
Do you have a game that you would want to see? as-
I had a couple of ideas. I thought all of David Cage's games should be television shows, just so I don't have to play through them. I love you,
nice.
David Cage. I really do. But
Yeah, nice.
I just don't have the time.
So do you think that, because I'm of the opinion that heavily story-based things, obviously like Uncharted would make a great TV show, you break it up into 8, 12 episodes, whatever, but
I think it'd be terrible.
you put like things that are really heavily story-based, I don't want to see those as TV shows. So, I mean, David Cage, you're just doing it so you don't have to
I'm just doing it so I don't have to play the game.
Yep.
But I agree. In my opinion, why do we want to put the same IPs in so many different mediums and platforms,
Yeah.
right? Because certain stories work for certain mediums.
Yeah.
And they should just stay there. Like, I don't want to see an Uncharted film.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
I had
neither
so
do I.
much fun playing the game, going through the story. Like, that was perfect. That was the perfect medium for me to experience those set of characters and that storyline.
Yeah.
I don't want to see it in a film. Like, I don't necessarily want to see a Last of Us film.
Neither do I.
Because you play through the film in the game.
And people do make
Or
the
the
argument.
TV shows, sorry.
People do make the argument that like books get adapted into films, but I do think it's different when you have already seen someone play a character, where you've seen that character represented in like a film-like medium, like video games. That you go, oh, then I've already sated that experience of wanting to watch that as opposed to read it, because you're still just gonna. It's the same as watching Uncharted to watching the movie of Uncharted. So yeah.
Well, I mean, let me turn the question around a little bit, right? I don't see the reason why games can't explore that facet that television films do, right? You've had stuff like Quantum Break,
Yeah.
you've had narrative-based games.
Yeah,
where
there's the
they
Defiance
have-
game where there was a game and a TV show that linked together.
Exactly, but I don't see why games can't further storytelling. So you play them and you don't go, oh, I wish there was a TV show based on this.
Yeah.
Like I don't see that necessity.
Yes, exactly.
Something like Rocket League, of course. Why
Cool,
not? Why
because
not?
it's a
Why
killer
not?
idea.
Yeah, it's great.
All right. Well, we're going to leave it here on the immortal words of producer Michael Sugar, who bought the Battlefield IP. He said the reason he bought it, quote, Battlefield has a tremendous built-in engaged fan base, making it a highly coveted piece of IP primed for long-form adaptation. And so, if that doesn't say we are only using the Battlefield name because people already know it, and for no creative reason, I don't know what does. All right, let us know in the comments, guys, if you are interested in TV shows based on video games. What games do you think would be ripe for TV show adaptation, and do you think it's a good idea at all? And while you're on the internet, check out Good Game on Facebook, YouTube, and iView. Want to meet fellow Pocketeers, then join the Pocketeers Facebook group and Steam group. You can follow Good Game on Twitter, follow Pocket and NichBoy up here at Geek. She's at LJology, and there are links to everything I just said in the description below. Today's Thing of the Day graphic was made by Syntax Error. If you've made a thing, please send it in. Till tomorrow, NichBoy out.
Lindsay out. I think Michael Sugar is going to regret his words when the first fan says, "Oh, you got the gun wrong."
Totally. You got the gun wrong will be the first
wrong.
comment on
the promo on YouTube.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's it.
Also,
Yeah.
you get none of my millions. Go west, Naruto. Life is peaceful there? That's the song?
I can't remember.
Go west, life is peaceful there. Go west, in the open air. Go west, where the sky is blue. Go west, this is what we're gonna do. Boom, 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 boom.